I imagine, a friendlier U.S. president coming in. Does he temper his responses now, knowing that he will have a new man in charge here in a few weeks' time?
I think he's looking at his watch and saying, we've got 3 weeks, so we might as well let it all hang out. I mean, you look at what they're doing. That step with the Anglo-American school is kind of a personal, tawdry step by the Russians to get back at what they perceive are tawdry steps probably by the Americans. But I think Putin will probably look at this very seriously, look at things that he can do in a very strict, let's say, cyber way. He will do things that are symbolic and personal, and then he will do other things that would have to do with intelligence. So I think it will be multi-level, and they keep saying it's going to be tit for tat. So if there are some things that will not be revealed that the Obama administration will be taking, there will be things that will be not revealed by the Russians as well. But Jim, I can tell you, the level of personal comments is amazing. On social media, the comments about Obama coming from the Russian administration are really unbelievable. You know, calling them losers, that this administration isn't really an administration, they're just a bunch of losers. That tweet coming from the Russian embassy in England, in London, the lame duck, an actual picture of a duck. It's pretty personal.
No question. We've heard some of that in our own politics here in the U.S. Juliet, you were on the White House call earlier, gave some more details on this response. You say that the White House made it clear this was a reaction not just to the hacking, though perhaps primarily, but also tied to, as well, Russia's conduct towards U.S. diplomats on the ground in Russia.
Yeah, sort of a less reported story over the last couple months, and Jill has certainly talked about it before, is just the, I would say, antagonism, harassment, sometimes even physical, of U.S. personnel in Russia. So the White House was clear that while, you know, we're all focused on cyber, this actually is bigger than the cyber attack, that these sanctions. And I think they wanted to make it clear for two reasons. One is there's no wiggle room in the intelligence community's assessments today. I just want to make that clear. There's no sort of outlier intelligence agency like we saw with the FBI perhaps earlier. The second is that because the executive order can only be rescinded by a president, it will require Trump, if he chooses to do so, to essentially go against his entire intelligence community. Yeah. He can certainly do that, but it would take some explanation vis-a-vis his intelligence community, the one that he will be governing. In the future. And so it's just important to note that the executive order is not solely related to Russia. It could apply to the Chinese or the North Koreans if they try to do this.
To stand up against his entire intelligence. And it is only Trump and Putin. Later, a new ceasefire taking effect tonight in Syria. The real question, though, can this one hold? We've got a live report from inside the region.
Where will the lead take us today? Straight to the source.
Would Israel be willing to go along with those demands?
To a side you haven't seen.
That sounds a young man's game.
All the way to the heart of a problem.
What is going on in Ferguson, Missouri, in downtown America?
Maybe all the way to the president.
Do you think you were naive back then?
The Lead with Jake Tapper. Weekdays at 4.
Every day we do stories about people in need. With CNN's Impact Your World, you can help. When you go to the Impact Your World section at CNN.com, you'll find more on the stories that move you. Plus, you can find out just what you can do to help. Links to reputable charities and organizations. Find out more on New Day and go to CNN.com/impact. Be the change. Take action. Make an impact.